See, sometimes we meet people and they just got their own agenda kind of in mind. Like they want a man or they want a woman, but they don't care what man or woman they are. They just want somebody. I think it's a difference between wanting somebody and somebody wanting you.
What is it?
Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. Guess what day it is? Uh-oh,
Hump day.
Is it me or is ghosting becoming one of the number one things in dating today? You know what I mean when I say ghosting, right? For those that don't know, ghosting is basically when a person is in your life 1 minute and then they just disappear out of your life the next minute with no reason, no explanation, nothing. They're just gone. And then when you try to reach out to that person, they ignore your calls, they ignore your texts, whatever you got going on, and they just refuse to communicate with you about why they just disappeared. Yeah, that's what we're dealing with. Now, part of me feels like, damn, you know what? This is because of the internet, right? This whole ghosting thing is because of social media. Now, I think that's a very big part of it, right? But then I had to ask myself, I was like, man, it was a lot of guys in the 70s that left to go get some cigarettes or get a beer, and then they just never came back. I think that was the original ghosting. To me, you know what I'm saying? I mean, they ain't have cell phones back then, but when you just up and leave your house and never come back, I think that's the original ghosting. But we got to ask ourselves, ghosting, it's okay when you do it to other people, but when people do it to you, it ain't really the best feeling. I mean, think about it. A lot of us have been ghosted and have ghosted people before. Now, the people that have ghosted us, oh, they the worst people in the world, right? Hang them off with their heads, right? All that, all that. But when we ghost people, oh, ain't nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? Oh, they was tripping, so I had to do it. Now, I will say that some people do kind of make you ghost them, but a lot of us ghost people not because it's best for the other person, but really because it's best for us, right? Like, think about it. There's a lot of reasons why people ghost people. For example, one reason people ghost people is because we don't want to have confrontation with the person, right? You know, sometimes you meet somebody and y'all haven't really been dating that long, but it's already things that y'all just don't agree about. Now, that person could be open to discussing those things y'all don't agree about, right? And you're kind of tiddling between the line of, hey, should I say something or should I not? Now, I don't know about y'all, but before I ghost anybody, I always try to give people the benefit of the doubt. Meaning, I want to see if I can talk to you first. If I see that you're a rational person, right, and you are open to conversation, then you know what? I'll give it a shot. You know, I'll try to talk to you about what's going on through my mind, what's going on through my brain, so that we can kind of keep things moving forward and evolve, right? Because when you can't communicate with somebody, it's kind of like you hit like a big wall. You realize, like, damn, I really want to say more to this person. I really want to go deeper with this person. No pun intended. You want to go deeper with this person in conversation, right? But you just fear that they really can't handle it intellectually. You know, like a lot of people, if you think about it, a lot of people really don't talk about anything under the surface, you know, just regular day to day things, right? So sometimes I would test people just to see, hey, let me see how deep this person is. Can I have a conversation with them? You know what I mean? A lot of times I had to ghost people that I could see just really wasn't open to conversation. And I judged that based off of how they dealt with conversation with their friends, with their family. And a lot of times I was right. See, here's the thing. Sometimes we ghost people because we know that these people are so hurt or they are so in a state where we just really can't help them that there's really nothing you can do other than walk the fuck away. You know what I mean? Now, I'm not saying everybody does it. I'm saying ghosting could be a little healthy and it could be a little unhealthy. You know what I mean? Ghosting could be a little healthy for the person who's walking away. You know, if we're being honest, a lot of us are dating out here and we're bleeding all over. It's kind of like a person that's in the hospital, right? They leave the hospital like a little too soon before they're like truly healed. So now when they walk out, they got blood leaking from their bandages. They're not truly ready to take on the world. I think that's kind of how it is in dating. I think a lot of us are so hurt from our past and haven't healed from a lot of things that we need to heal from that we go out to the dating world too early. We go out and we start meeting people and we start telling people and ourselves that we're ready to, date. We're ready to give to another person. We're ready to be, in alignment with another person. But really, we just bored and we don't want to be stuck with ourselves. I mean, I can't tell you how many times myself, my friends, my family, or just people I see, out and about, you can just see that we're all going through things, right? So when you're ghosting people, a lot of times, I think sometimes you ghost people that you just flat out not compatible with. You know what I mean? Now, I will say this. I was talking to a woman and she was super cool, but I had to ghost her. Why? Because she was not listening. She just wasn't listening. I think a lot of times when you meet somebody, you have people, like I said, who will try and attempt to communicate with you. And then they just see, like, hey, look, this door is shut. I'm trying to get through this door of communication with this person, but the door is shut. And I haven't even known this person that long. So what do I look like trying to go through all this hoopla to communicate with you when I don't even know you like that? That's another thing about ghosting. It's kind of like, why put all this energy into a person or a conversation when we ain't gonna end up together in the long run anyway? Now, part of me, after I say that, says, well, maybe because we're both human beings, maybe it's worth the conversation and the energy, because maybe we both could, help each other through a difficult point in our life. I think that shit sounds good on paper or on a Disney Channel. But I think in real life, a lot of times when you try to help people through things, they bite your goddamn head off. I've seen it before. They bite your goddamn head off. Let me ask y'all this. Have you ever had to ghost people because they were too clingy? Think about that. Some people are a little bit too clingy when you first meet them. You know what I mean? I'm a type of person where I try to work on myself a lot, right? So when I meet somebody, they're like, oh, this person is interesting. He does this, he does that, XYZ, right? Okay, cool. Then I meet that person. I say, well, let me see what you got going on. And a lot of times people like the way that you are because you're doing things and you're evolved in a place where they want to be evolved and doing things that they want to do, right? But they're not doing those things. It's kind of like a person who wants to date somebody who's in shape and goes to the gym all the time, but you yourself don't go to the gym and you overweight and you like, yeah, but I want to meet a person that, is like that. Yeah, that really usually doesn't work. I was dating this woman and she was super cool, right? Had a lot of great things I liked about her. Could cook her ass off, all that. Nice, good conversation. However, I noticed that after we got past, the surface stuff and we started really talking about things beyond that, I noticed that she had really, really, really bad childhood issues. You know what I mean? Like she had bad mom issues. She been through some things like all of us, right? And when I first heard about it, I listened to her. I listened very attentively because I wanted to really understand what this person had been through. Now, after this person told me this for an hour, then told me their whole life story, I said, great, I'm privy. I come over the next day and she does the exact same thing again. I'm like, okay. And I come over the next day and she's telling me these stories about her family and how things went wrong and basically things that she needs to work out in therapy. Now, she told me she needed therapy, which I appreciated because I like somebody who knows, hey, look, you know what? I'm not right. I got some things I need to work on, and I'm actively doing that. So in her defense, she already was aware that she was going through things that she had to work towards. Now, me, I was like, well, do I walk away from this person that's going through things, or do I just say, hey, let me just see where this goes? Me, I'm a fair person. I said, boom, let's see where this goes. But I was correct. After a while, our conversation started to be that she was dumping her toxic past. And when I say toxic, meaning things that she's gone through, that people have done to her, things that's happened that should have never happened, right? After a while, I would come over with a good day. I'm in a good mood. After a while, I noticed that I would come over to hang out with her and I'm in a great mood, right? But after she got done talking to me about the same issues with her family over and over again, I noticed my mood started to change. It started to be like, damn, I feel drained because this person has been talking to me for 2 hours, yelling. Now she starts off telling a story about, what she's talking about. But then she gets so involved in it that she kind of goes to another place and she forgets that she's talking to me. And now she's not telling the story anymore. She's yelling the story. You know what I mean? And I don't know about y'all, but like kind of like an empath. You know what I mean? Like I can feel people's energy. And a lot of times when you're in a great mood and people are not in a great mood, you tend to pick up their energies versus your own. And I realized that I'm hanging out with somebody that I'm trying to get away from my draining day from, right? I'm trying to be around you so we can bring good energy and enjoy life, right? But you just dumping all this energy on me. And I'm like, we're not even in a relationship. It's kind of like, I want to be your friend, but I don't want to be your therapist. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of times ghost people because they don't see what we're seeing. Now, me, I literally trying my best to just hang in there with this woman. I was like, look, she seemed cool. She get good vibes. She can cook some good vittles. And I'm old school. So if you can cook, hey, listen, we can talk about it. You know what I'm saying? But I had to ghost her. Sometimes we ghost people because they can't reciprocate what we give. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know about y'all, but I'm the person that people always come and talk to. I'm the one people always talk to. And when you're the person that everybody always goes to, a lot of times you realize that you don't have anybody that you can go to. So sometimes when we meet people, right, they seem super cool. But then once they start dumping their life a little bit onto us too much, where it seems like they can't handle it, you ask yourself, well, damn, what happens when I have a bad day? But what I'm saying is, nobody out there is perfect. And when you meet people, we have to understand, like, listen, I got things going on. You got things going on. You tell me what you need. I tell you what I need. And then we'll see if we can do that. That's a nice little negotiation. All in all, I think that ghosting people is probably one of the meanest things to do. Why? Because it fucks with people's minds. It makes them think like, well, what was wrong with me? What was wrong with you? I mean, think about it. Sometimes we have to ghost people because they just literally aren't listening. How many times have you met somebody, you tell them, hey, listen, I don't want a relationship, right? I don't want a relationship. I'm focused on XYZ and I just want to hang out every now and again, when I'm free, but I don't have a consistent time to dedicate to another person. See, sometimes we meet people and they just got their own agenda kind of in mind. Like they want a man or they want a woman, but they don't care what man or woman they are. They just want somebody. I think it's a difference between wanting somebody and somebody wanting you as a specific person. You know what I mean? And I just got tired of trying to explain to somebody that I don't want to waste my money spending it on the bullshit that you want to because I have a business. I have a family. I'm trying to invest in myself, right? And a lot of times you have to ghost people because they want you to jump on their ship, especially a lot of women. A lot of times I meet a woman and I'm telling her exactly up front who I am and what it is that I want, right? What it is that I have time for. I tell them, hey, I have a business, I have a dream, and I'm investing my money into this dream. I had to ghost a woman because she said she understood. We had the conversations. Oh, you're trying to live your dreams and not your reality? Great. Oh, you're doing this with your show Hump Day Romance? Great. You're building brands? Awesome. Yes, ma'am, I am. So it's not that I don't want to date or be around somebody. It's just my time is truly dedicated to this, and I really love what I do. So we can hang out, but I'm not going to be able to be at your beckoning call. We're not going to be able to do all that as such. And this is me letting her know this up front. Fast forward down the line, that turns to, well, I don't want a fuck buddy. Well, baby, if you don't want a fuck buddy, then stop calling me to fuck. Fast forward, I get a call saying, hey, I want to go to a $300 dinner that I've really been wanting to go to. I want you to come with me. I'm not paying for you. So I'm asking you to basically spend $300, more than $300 with me because it's a restaurant that's been on my bucket list. This is what she's telling me. She's saying that she wants to go to a like $300-400 restaurant because it's on her bucket list. And she wants me to go with her because she doesn't want to go alone. I said, okay, I know I told this woman that I invest 110% of my money into my business, right? So why does she think that I want to take $300-400 of my money, go and participate in a bucket list dream that she has on her list? I don't understand it. It baffled me, guys. Now, I can understand she probably wanted my company, right? Okay, I get it because she's a very nice person to be around. Absolutely. But when I asked her, I said, well, since this is your bucket list, why don't you just do this by yourself? And she was like, well, I don't want to do this alone. That's where it got me. I said, okay, I told you what I was focused on, and you're focused on living outside your means. You want to do bucket list stuff and spend $400 on one dinner, which me personally, I'm from Norfolk. I mean, for $400, I can feed a football team, okay? I ain't knocking that. I like going to nice places and everything else, but I just don't understand why people want to just throw away money for something that is really overpriced. You know what I mean? I just didn't get it. But to each its own. I like a freak that's grown. But I had to ghost her. And I really tried to communicate with her. I said, listen, this is not what I want, XYZ. I explained to you that. The problem was she didn't know what she wanted. You see what I'm saying? She wanted a boyfriend the whole time, but she said she didn't. She wanted a boyfriend the whole time. She wanted me to be that person that she wanted me to be, completely ignoring the fact that I'm on my journey and that I'm doing what I want to do. And we can hang out and link up when our schedules permit, right? And maybe it will grow. Once I realize that you're asking me to do things that are outside of my journey, well, then now you're kind of like a distraction. And now I got to ask myself, am I going to keep having the same conversation with you over and over again? Or am I just going to moonwalk the hell out of this situation? And unfortunately, I always feel bad when I ghost people. You know what I mean? Because I always wish that we could just get to a better place of communication. Because we're not bad people, I don't think. I just think that a lot of times we all really don't know what we truly want, but we're programmed to think that we know what we want. You know what I mean? Moral of this story, ghosting people is really just a way of saying that we're all just too afraid to tell people what we're thinking, how we're feeling. You know what I mean? Honestly, ghosting is one of the meanest things you could really do. But it's kind of unintentionally mean. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not that we're saying something's wrong with you. A lot of times, it's really what's wrong with us. You know, a lot of us just don't have it in us to kind of go through that opening up and vulnerability stage that it takes to actually really connect with a person. Which, if we feel that we need to ghost people in the first place, we shouldn't even be talking to that person to begin with. And maybe we shouldn't even be dating. But I don't know about y'all, but I'm going to try to do a better job at not ghosting people. You know what I mean? Try to do a better job at saying, you know what? Can I talk to you for a minute and let me just give you a peace of mind? Now, whether they do that back to me or not, I don't know. I couldn't tell. But I think that at the end of the day, only way to really, really start changing the problem is to change ourselves. If you've enjoyed this episode of Hump Day Romance and you felt like it truly helped you, then feel free to donate $1 to the show. We appreciate all donations. Truly, truly do, man. I love sitting down and talking to you guys about whatever my thought is for the day. And I hope that this can help you in your life every day. You know, sometimes it helps talking to a stranger or somebody just about what's going on through your mind, because maybe what you're going through is completely normal, which I really think it is. I'm Top Rope Zeus. Live your dreams, not your reality.
Respect.